Half a day, everyone, and welcome back to the Triton Athletics and Fieldhouse video podcast. And we are so excited to finally have you back now that the semester has finally started. If you did forget, well, that's okay. Let me just go ahead and remind you. My name is Rosanna Claros, and I am the host for this podcast. And we are very excited to go ahead and catch you up on what you have missed during the Christmas break and what is going to be coming up for the next spring semester. For tonight, we will catch you up on the Triton Athletics and Fieldhouse video podcast to include the athletic news and athletic tryouts, and that will be taken over by athletic director Doug Palmer, recreation and wellness program and fitness classes, the actual field house, and we will also be having interviews with the men's basketball coach Dana Holmes and the UOG student athlete Dion, also known as D. Blackman. Sorry about that. I'm a little rusty, but it's good to be back. So now moving on to the Fieldhouse news. If you still have not been vaccinated or have gotten your boosters, we will still be having our vaccination going on at the Fieldhouse, and where we'll be also offering our first and second dose of Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, also to follow with the boosters of Pfizer and Moderna. While we were away, the UOG had and held its Fanutanen commencement in the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse as the university held three separate ceremonies to spread out the event and allow each graduate to have at least two guests to attend. UOG will also be having several of the high schools that are planning their graduations in either May or June for the Fieldhouse. For those of you who have made their New Year's resolution to get fit, lose weight, or whatever it may be in terms of fitness, the Triton Fitness Center has now have new hours. Monday through Thursday is 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., and on Friday it's from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And all you need to get in is your proof of vaccination to enter. In terms of your fitness classes, it will be scheduled from Monday through Thursday, with the schedule of Monday having yoga at noon, boxing at 4 p.m., mixed fit at 5:30 p.m. On Tuesday, we'll be having Strong Nation at 12:30, Zumba at 5:30, and then on Wednesday, yoga at noon, boxing at 4 p.m., and mixed fit at 5:30 p.m., along with Thursday being Zumba at 5:30 p.m. And now we're going to go ahead and move it on over to Mr. Doug Palmer to go ahead and give us an update of what has been happening in terms of all of the athletic news. Mr. Palmer?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Rosanna, for that good job right there getting us started back again. We're very excited about being back on this video podcast, and we're very excited that it looks like we're going to have more athletics coming your way in this spring. The first athletic events that we have going will be our spring semester tryouts. Every sport loses some athletes at the mid-year due to grades, due to working, doing the other things. So we need some more bodies for all our athletic teams. So starting on this Monday, we have men's soccer tryouts at 4 p.m. at the soccer and rugby fields. On Tuesday, we have women's rugby tryouts at 4 p.m. again at the soccer rugby field. On Wednesday, we have baseball tryouts at George Washington High School field at 4 p.m. And then on Thursday of next week, we're going to have basketball tryouts back in the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. We're going to actually open up one court to use for tryouts. The men's team will have tryouts at 5 p.m. The women's team will have tryouts at 7 p.m. So please come join us next week for the tryouts. You have to bring something to prove you've been fully vaccinated. You don't have to have the booster shot. We do recommend it, but you don't have to have the booster shots. And then if you do decide to try out, you make the teams, and you're going to play, you're going to have to get a physical. And we're pretty much not going to turn anybody away who wants to come out for the teams. So if you want to play some sports, please come out. This is a good way to get some exercise. It's a good way to find your spot on one of the teams, and there's a possibility of even getting an athletic grant out of it. So that's for the tryouts next week. We're really excited about it, and we hope that we get several people to come out and try out. The athletic news, we do have several things to tell you about what's happening right now and what's going to happen in the near future. And I'm going to start with baseball. In December, we had baseball tryouts Our new coach, Coach Roki, did a very good job of getting bodies out there. We actually had 20 baseball players show up over December to try out and practice over the Christmas break. So now for the first time, we have enough players to play baseball at UOG. We're planning on having some February exhibition games down at the Paseo Stadium, and hopefully we will be playing in the Guam Major League when they start their new season sometime this spring. Guam Major League still has to finish their last season and then start the new season, so we may be playing into the summer as far as baseball goes, but it looks like we're going to be playing. Women's rugby, we're going to be playing in a tournament. It's actually an outside group going to be running the tournament, but they're going to host it here at UOG. So come February 26th and 27th, our women's rugby team will be playing again here at UOG. Men's soccer, still don't know. Guam Football Association still has a major refereeing problem, and they were supposed to start playing this January. Apparently, we haven't heard anything, so hopefully we'll be playing in February. We may not be playing until March, but again, it's men's soccer will play at some point in the spring, but we may have to run into the summer as well. Women's basketball. Women's basketball will get to play this weekend. They get to kick off their season at the Slam tournament down at the Paseo outdoor courts. They have 4 women's 3-on-3 teams are going to play. So we have a team of 4 young ladies who all are actually from the dorm, who are dorm students. They're actually from different islands in Micronesia. So we have an international blend of players that are going to go down and actually represent their islands and represent UOG playing 3-on-3 basketball this weekend. They start playing Saturday, I think Saturday night around 5 or 6 o'clock. On the men's side of basketball, actually our men's team has already played 3 games this semester. The Micro Friends basketball organization put on a tournament, Take It to the South. We were playing down at Talafofo's gym. We went down. We did okay. We didn't do as well as we wanted to do. We went 1-2 in a tournament. We lost the opening game to the Imperials, about I think 75-55. They had a national team player who scored 36 points on us that night. And there was 3 ex-UOG players playing against us, so they really didn't want to lose to UOG. So they really came out and played hard. So we lost the opening game. We won the second game against the Pudding basketball club team. And if we lost to somebody named Pudding, I wouldn't have even mentioned it on here. But we actually beat them 60-55. And then we played our third game against the Faux basketball club. And we had the lead for 30 minutes of the game, but the last 10 minutes of the game, they took the lead. We were down by 8 points. We cut it to 1 in the last minute, but we couldn't get that final score to put us over the top, and we ended up losing 63-58. But it was 59-58 with about 1 minute left, but we just couldn't get to score the points, and they were trying to hold the ball. But so men's basketball got to play, and they're also going to play this weekend in the 3-on-3 championship down at Paseo, and there's 20 3-on-3 teams for that tournament. The final decision on the tournament will actually be made tomorrow, and it really depends if it's going to rain during the weekend or not. If it does rain, then we'll play next weekend, but hopefully we'll get to play this weekend. And the men's basketball team is also looking towards playing in another tournament shortly that the Micro Friends organization is going to put on. Hopefully, we're going to host a basketball league here at UOG before the end of the spring semester. But if the vaccine program is still here into April, then we're just going to have to drop back and punt and not host a tournament till probably the fall. But if not, we're going to try to find some other things to play in. Some new exciting news, we're actually going to put together a co-ed basketball team made up of our varsity players and going to play in a tournament, the same Micro Friends tournament that the men's team is going to play in. We're going to put in a co-ed team. Our women's coach, Sila Hernandez, is going to actually coach that team. And for the women, we're also going to try to find another gym in the month of February to host like a 4-team tournament over 4 or 5 days. So we're going to try to get basketball going more in that direction. So that's the athletic news. It looks like almost all of our sports are going to play this semester. We really got to get rid of this Omicron virus before probably a lot of people want to play. But hopefully by the end of the semester, all our sports will be playing. And then hopefully, like I said, for these tryouts, come join us this spring. We'll get you some practice. We'll get you some play. But then going into next year, 2022-23, hopefully we'll have full seasons all year long. And this will be a really exciting time, hopefully starting next fall. But I'll give it back to Rosanna right now.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. So I'm pretty sure that was a lot of information for you all to take in, of which it was a lot to hear too. But we got through it. But it's nothing but good news. So now we're going to go ahead and have our first interview for the night. His name is Mr. Dana Holmes. I'm so sorry. Mr. Dana Holmes, the men's basketball coach. And we are very excited to have you, Coach. Thank you so much for being here. And it's good to have you here and to finally discuss actual games that did happen. And we're looking forward to now within this month and next month. So I guess the first question for me would be, the team did, it's like Mr. Palmer had mentioned that the team did go 1-2 within the tournament. Did the team meet your expectations for the group that hasn't played within 22 months and has had barely any practice?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much expected what I saw out there. Guys not in shape, not having, team chemistry and things like that. But it was good for the guys to kind of get the live experience, playing against, good competition, guys that just play hard, the physicality of the game. So it was good for them to just get out there and just, work on some things and get the chemistry down and just go out there and just play hard and have some fun. It's been 22 months, it's been a long time. So just glad that the guys was out there working hard and showing UOG pride.
Well, it's like also what Mr. Palmer had mentioned throughout the tournament, and I also had saw pictures from the games that you and your assistant coach, I believe, had to play in the tournament, making that a team of 5v5, right, for you guys in order to play. So how did that go all about? Please, maybe just a little explanation for us and a little story behind those pictures.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had some guys that had to sit out due to contact tracing with COVID. So it's been a challenging thing. So it happened kind of last minute. So a couple of guys wanted to kind of stay back and just be safe. So me and Coach Mike had to step in. We had to lace them up and throw on the uniforms to get out there and kind of help the guys. But it was kind of cool for us because we got a chance to be on the court with the guys and kind of see what certain things that they have to work on and kind of see things from their perspective. So in the end, I think it's going to help us in the long run.
So you guys are having the 3v3 tournament, and Mr. Palmer had mentioned that it is like about 20 teams, and that is quite a lot. Mm-hmm. So what are you expecting out of the Tritons, out of your team, to kind of put, to be a part of this experience of 3v3, since you haven't really, I guess, or the team hasn't had much experience of a 3v3 tournament?
I'm expecting the guys, first and foremost, I want the guys to go out there and have fun. It's a great atmosphere out there. I was able to go out there and check it out last year, so it's a good experience for them to get out there and compete against some guys that are going to go out there and play hard. There's some prize money on the line, so it's going to be some hard fouls out there, so it's good for them to kind of just go out there and just, get the experience playing against guys that are stronger than them and just not going to let anything come easy. So they got to go out there and kind of earn their stripes and go out there and just represent for UOG and just have a good time, play some good basketball.
So there is another tournament happening in February, and it will also be featuring several of the teams that did play in the Take It to the South tournament. So is there any extra motivation motivation to play these teams again? I mean, I don't know. What is your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you lose to a team, you kind of keep a mental note in the back of your mind that you want to play those guys again. So we have some revenge to get, some payback to get. But, it's good that these guys kind of understand what they're getting themselves into now. So they have a better idea of what to expect going into it. We had to play, 40 full minutes of a game. We had the third game that we played in the tournament the other day. We did have a chance to win it. kind of let our guard down a little bit. But like I said, with experience, now the guys had that, idea of what to do now. So hopefully next time we'll use that experience and not kind of catapult us win the next one.
Alrighty, folks. So you heard it there. We're definitely looking forward to see what this tournament has for this month, what the tournament has for next month, and hopefully maybe on the 3v3 tournament we can go ahead and see Coach on in the team playing 3v3. Who knows? We'll see. Well, thank you so much, Coach. And now we're going to be going ahead and moving on to our next interview with our student athlete from the men's basketball team, D. Blackman. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So can you go ahead and just give us, tell us a little bit about yourself for the people who don't know you, or as a student athlete, or just as a student in general?
My name is Dana Blackman. I'm from the 2-5, Scarlet Neck, North Carolina. I stay in Marion Chapel. I'm just a laid back dude, just like to joke and laugh, to socialize and like to mingle with other people to see how they live and, I just like to fellowship with different people I haven't met just to learn new stuff.
So we were watching the games, and then we also saw pictures and hearing it from Mr. Palmer that you had a great start off during the tournament. You averaged at least 20.3 points per game. So how do you feel about your play in the first 3 games?
I think I did okay, but I could have did better. But it's a lot of improvement I see in myself that I need to improve it because I'm still trying to adjust to the heat here, and so 'cause it's a lot different from here and back at home. So I just gotta work on myself mentally and physically to improve myself. But overall, I think I did. I think I did okay.
Okay, so the team went 1-2 within the first 3 games. And do you feel that the team has more potential and can win more games when you guys play the tournament in February against the same teams that you guys had challenged?
Yeah, definitely. We have potential. It was fun because this was the first time that all of us actually got to play with each other since school started. So I mean, I kind of figured that it wasn't gonna be wasn't gonna go so good because we haven't built chemistry yet. But them 3 games was help us develop each other, see how each other play. We can learn from each other, learn from our mistakes, and we can work on things together. But definitely move forward. So we gonna start winning now. So because once we got that 1 game on our belt, that we got to feel how each other can play. We can feed off each other's energy.
So for the 3v3 tournament that is happening this weekend, do you have any experience in playing a 3v3 tournament? Seeing as UOG will be entering in their first 3v3 tournament, do you have any specs of your own of knowing how to play a 3v3 tournament?
No, I never played in a 3v3 tournament, but I have played pickup ball with 3-on-3. So I guess it's somewhat similar, but just it's a different motive with the game. With it's something on the line to win for, just not just playing. So yeah, I mean, I'm expecting us to do a lot better than we did the other tournament, but. Yeah, so this gonna be fun for us to go out to the community, get exposure, let the community see that the UOG basketball team is something serious and we about to get right.
Okay, so I guess I'm moving aside from basketball now. I'm not too sure how long you've been on Guam, but how has your experience been overall here at the university? I guess how is it different from the mainland? Like especially during a time like this, during a pandemic. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling right about now, just being in this type of setting?
It's a lot different back at home, and when I first got here, it was a lot of stuff that I didn't even know that I had to learn from. Like since I got here on campus, I seen these trees with these big green fruit. So when I first got here, I was talking to the guys, and I was like, wow. I thought it was mangoes. So when I said something about mangoes, everybody started to laugh. So I was looking at them like, what they laughing for? They were like, well, those ain't mangoes, those coconut. So, but I never knew that coconuts started green at first. But all the coconuts I seen is brown, so I didn't know coconuts be green. So I mean, it's just a lot that I learned from just being here so far. How the island lifestyle is, the culture, the different islands around. So I mean, I got to meet at least one person from the different islands, and I asked them questions about how their lifestyle is at home and how is it here. And then we just trade information about from different cultures. So being here so far, it's a good learning experience for me because I got to, be brand new to a different culture to adapt to and to learn more. So now when I go back home, I can tell my family that, the things I learned since I've been out here and, try to convince them to come out here. But the flight, it's a long flight from here back in the States. So, but I'm trying to.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on here and giving us your perspective on what it's like to be a student athlete on the men's basketball team, and also to see your perspective here on the island, since of course everybody we've had here is from Guam, so it's a little different now and it's a good taste to see. Well, thank you so much, everybody who tuned in for tonight. It was a great show back. I am very rusty, as you can tell. So we're going to ease it back into it now that the season has started and getting back into our old schedule. So join us next week for the results of what is to come from the tournament this weekend. We are very excited to hear, and we wish you and Coach good luck on your tournament, and we wish you nothing but the best. And to also see Coach Sil Olandis here with the women's basketball player to share their experience on playing in almost 2 years. Dee, so since you're here, how we always usually end the show is that we throw up our Triton sign, and then we just look at the camera, say Biba UOG, and hold the pose for the camera, and that's a wrap. So, oh my gosh. Okay, so Biba, right? Biba. It's like a hua in a way, but in Chamorro. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So then just Biba UOG, and then the rubber Triton sign. Look at the camera, hold the pose, and we're good. Okay, let's try it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Biba UOG.